Hello again. This is where we left off in the previous video. So let me modify this content layout. Let us just continue. And I need here a linear layout. I need to define this as vertical orientation, and I'm gonna set the padding to maybe ADP. I need to create a scroll view here. Match parent and wrap content, and inside here I need to define another linear layout. I'm going to explain later why I'm creating a scroll view inside a linear layout and another layout inside a scroll view later. So let me continue. Match parent and wrap content, and the orientation is vertical, and the ID is equal to user container. Let me close this. I think this is all we need right this time. So let me add a new layout. This is user layout, and I'm gonna go with a constraint layout. I think this is exactly what I need. So here I'm gonna create a text view, and I'm gonna set this to 100 dp so I can move it around in the editor. So this is dp, and let me close this, and I need a string here, so text, and I'm gonna create a user, new user. Let me create this resource, string resource. So new user. No, I think this is first name, but this is the ID. Let me set this to tools instead. Let me copy and paste this namespace around here so I can use tool, but this is a text, and format. Let me duplicate this, copy, paste, and I need to add an image view, an image button. This, and the source for this element is double delete, and I need a tint because I think the contrast is a little off-putting, so the tint. I need a new resource, so let me create a new one here. Colors, duplicate this, and it's gonna be icon dark, a dark tint, and I need a dark color. I think around here is right. No, I think a little darker, maybe. I did something wrong, so let me move this back here, and I think this is go around here. Let me close this, and I need icon dark tint. Here we're not. So now I can manipulate these elements in my editor. So this is the set ID for this element too. It's gonna be the name, and this is the date. Format, and I need to constrain this element to expand and stop, end and start, and this constraint to here, and left. I need this constraint to its right, so I need this one to constrain to the end of the bar, so up, and this is not to be constrained to expand, this needs to be constrained to the bottom of the statement, up this Now let me fix this, because this needs to be constrained to its available width. This one too, and this is wrap content. This is wrap content too. And this is wrap content and wrap content. I think I need a cutting here. Maybe 6 dps would look good. Let me take a look at it closer. Okay, I like this. I think I need a separator. So this is a regular view, and let me set this to 100 dp just for close this. I need a background color for this. I need to define a color for my divider. So this vertical divider, and maybe a little lighter like this. So background, and this is my vertical divider. I need to move this around here. This needs to be constrained to this element, and left and right of its parent, and to the bottom of its parent. And this is needs to be constrained to its available. This is its parent, and this is 1 dp. Let me this is not longer. I think this is right, so let me go back here, and now I can load the data. I need the lifecycle scope dot launch, and I need to run this in another context, so dispatchers .io and lifecycle dot repeat on lifecycle and lifecycle dot state dot started, And I need a method here in my user repository that returns the list of users of fun users, and I need to return list, a mutable list of a user. I don't have a user here, so let me add here a new user. This is a data class, so user, and I need here val ID and this is a nullable. And this is first name. This is a string, and this is also a val. Let me copy this. I can recycle this string. Copy, paste. This is the last name. And finally, I need creation date. This is an int, and it's also a val format. So I can use here this element user. I need another class here. I need user data access object. This needs a database, SQLite database, and fun get users, and this needs to return a mutable list of user. So here database, my database needs to be a val, so database dot query db contract dot user table dot table name, and for the strings, I'm gonna set this to null. I'm gonna copy this. I don't need columns nor selection. I am not using selection. I am not using selection arc, not using group by, not using having, but I am using order by. And I don't need a limit. I need the order by contract dot user table dot order. I'm gonna order this this result set by user's first name. What is user first name contract? I need to refactor these elements. I think they are both wrong. Factor. Factor. So it looks better. So, and this needs to be ascending. I think it's ascending. So let me assign this variable, and this is equal to this. So while I can move my cursor to the next line, I need to create a user here, and I'm going to recycle variable user of type user. And finally here I'm going to use, I need to create a list around here. So val mutable list of type user. Var list so why user equals, and I need to get this element from the cursor dot get int, and this is the 0 index, and cursor dot this is a string, and this is the one, this is the first name. Let me copy this here, paste, and this is number 2 for last. Let me move this here because this is a string, the first name, and finally I need the that get int. This is number 3, which is the creation date, and now I can add this user to my list. There's that add and user. So now we have this result set. I need to call this user DAO. I don't have a user DAO here. I need to define like here, user DAO of type user DAO. So I can create this around here, user DAO equal to user DAO, and I need to pass here the database, so db. Now I can call this method user DAO dot get users, and I need to return this format. I think we're all set with this, so I can call the repository here and get the users, and I think I'm gonna do this in another method. So set users data in main data. This is private suspend, and for each one I need to inflate. I need another I'm going to inflate these elements, so val think. User layout binding. User layout binding. I think is the proper name. So user layout binding dot inflate layout inflator. Now I need to set the values here. User layout binding dot inflate. User layout binding dot name. It's going to be it dot first name. Let me rename this it to user. Is here first name plus user dot last name. I'm going to suppress this string and I need to get the creation date, but I need to format this string. So date utils dot current data string. I need to pass this number. Mismatch actual time is an int, but long was expected. Let's change this to long as long. Long. So let us take a look at the result. I am not adding this to my layout, so this binding dot content main dot user container dot add view, and I'm gonna add user layout binding dot root, and let me take a look at it again. I think there's an error. Only the original thread that created. You are absolutely right. Let me open here, split this right. So now I can run this user layout binding. So with context dispatchers.main, and let me move this around here. Format, let's try again. So there's only one element. The other one is behind the toolbar. They're supposed to be two elements, but one is hiding behind the toolbar. So let me change this to behavior, layout behavior, scroll bar, this one. Let me run this again. So I'm gonna leave this as it is. I'm gonna continue in the next video. So see you next time.